Hello, and welcome to AI Global, where we explore how artificial intelligence is shaping our world. This week, the spotlight is on New York City, where the 80th United Nations General Assembly, or UNGA, is underway. While world leaders gather to debate climate change, conflicts, and global inequality, one technology dominates the conversation: artificial intelligence. Why is AI suddenly a priority for the United Nations? Because AI is moving faster than policy. In just a few years, AI has evolved from a niche research topic into a technology that writes code, diagnoses diseases, generates human-like voices, and even creates lifelike videos. These tools can fight climate change, improve healthcare, and drive economic growth. But the same power creates serious risks.
AI can generate misinformation and deepfakes that destabilize elections.
Autonomous systems can be used in warfare, raising fears of machines making life-and-death decisions. Powerful AI models can disrupt economies, automating millions of jobs before governments can adapt. Unlike climate change or trade disputes, AI has no borders. A cyber attack using AI can start in one country and hit millions across the globe within seconds. That's why, in this UNGA session, AI is not just another tech topic. It is being treated as a matter of global peace, development, and human rights. In today's episode, we'll break down what is happening inside the UN, the new AI initiatives being launched, and why these discussions could impact your life, wherever you live. The centerpiece of this year's UNGA is a high-level meeting to launch the global dialogue on AI governance. Think of it as the world's first attempt to create a global rulebook for artificial intelligence. Representatives from the United States, European Union, China, India, Africa, and Latin America are all at the table. The mission is to design a framework that can guide how AI is developed and deployed worldwide. Key goals include setting safety standards for AI models to prevent harmful or biased outputs, requiring transparency so people understand how major algorithms make decisions, creating ethical guidelines to protect human rights and privacy, supporting capacity building so developing nations are not left behind in the AI race. What makes this meeting historic is its inclusive approach. Governments are not acting alone. Private companies, academic researchers, civil society groups, and AI ethicists are all part of the discussion. The idea is to build a governance system that reflects not just the priorities of powerful nations, but the needs of the entire global community. This is a big shift. Until now, AI policies have mostly been set by a few countries or by tech companies themselves. The UN dialogue aims to move beyond fragmented national regulations and create a shared set of principles that everyone can trust. Another landmark decision is the creation of an independent international scientific panel on AI. Imagine the IPCC for climate change, but focused on artificial intelligence. This panel will monitor global AI developments, provide evidence-based risk assessments, and issue policy recommendations to all UN member states. Its reports could influence treaties on topics such as banning or regulating autonomous weapons, setting international standards for AI transparency, and defining ethical boundaries for AI in sensitive areas like healthcare and finance. AI is also transforming the debate on peace and security. The UN Security Council has warned that AI can be both a force for stability and a source of danger. On one side, AI can predict conflicts, help with early warning systems, and support humanitarian operations such as demining. On the other side, it can spread deepfake propaganda faster than fact-checkers can respond and power new forms of cyber warfare. Delegates are wrestling with tough questions. Should there be a global ban on fully autonomous weapons? How can nations prevent AI-driven surveillance from violating privacy and free speech? And who is responsible when an AI system causes harm across borders? These discussions are not academic. The outcome will shape how AI is used in both war and peace for decades to come. In our final installment of this deep dive into artificial intelligence and the United Nations General Assembly, we turn our eyes to the future. The UN has sounded the alarm, governments have pledged cooperation, and new frameworks are beginning to take shape. But what happens next? How might AI and the global effort to manage it unfold over the coming years? What decisions made today will determine whether AI becomes a tool of shared prosperity or a source of global crisis. In this concluding chapter, we will examine four intertwined dimensions of the road ahead: governance and global agreements, the rules and institutions that will shape AI development, technological trajectories, the likely breakthroughs and disruptions in the next decade, societal adaptation, how economies, cultures, and individuals can prepare for an AI-driven world, ethical and philosophical horizons, the big questions about humanity's relationship with intelligent machines. Let's begin with governance, because the rules we set now will influence every other outcome. 1. Global governance, from principles to binding treaties. The discussions at the UN this year are only the opening act of a long process. Initial declarations of intent are valuable, but without binding commitments, they risk becoming symbolic gestures. History offers a clear lesson. When the world confronted nuclear weapons after World War II, the first step was public recognition of the danger. The next step was the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons, a legally binding framework that limited the spread of nuclear arms and created monitoring mechanisms. AI presents a more complex challenge because it is not a single technology, but a constellation of rapidly evolving capabilities. Nevertheless, diplomats are already floating ideas for a future AI non-proliferation regime. Such a treaty might include transparency requirements obligating companies and governments to disclose when they deploy powerful AI systems, safety audits, where independent experts test new models for dangerous behaviors before release, export controls on the most advanced chips and training data to prevent reckless development, emergency hotlines for rapid communication if an AI incident threatens global stability. Yet these measures face political obstacles. Major powers differ in their strategic interests. The United States seeks to preserve technological leadership, China wants state-driven development, and the European Union emphasizes privacy and consumer rights. Developing countries, meanwhile, fear that strict controls could lock them out of economic opportunities. For global governance to succeed, negotiators will need to create flexible structures, perhaps a tiered system where baseline safety rules are universal, while more advanced obligations apply only to frontier systems. The UN may establish an international AI agency, similar to the International Atomic Energy Agency, to inspect labs, monitor training runs, and publish risk assessments. Regional organizations like the African Union, ASEAN, and Mercosur could then adapt these standards to local needs while remaining connected to the global framework. The timeline is crucial. Most experts believe we have a 5 to 10-year window before AI capabilities reach levels that could challenge human control. If international agreements are not in place by then, the race for dominance may overtake caution, leaving the world vulnerable to catastrophic misuse. 2. Technological trajectories. What's coming next? While diplomats debate rules, engineers and scientists continue to push the limits of what AI can do. The next decade is likely to bring several transformative breakthroughs: frontier models and general intelligence. Current large language models, impressive as they are, remain specialized. But research labs are chasing artificial general intelligence, AGI, systems that can perform a wide range of cognitive tasks as well as, or better than humans. Predictions vary, but many leading researchers believe AGI could emerge by the early 2030s, if not sooner. Such systems could autonomously improve their own algorithms, triggering an intelligence explosion, where progress accelerates beyond human comprehension. This scenario excites some and terrifies others, because it could yield unimaginable scientific advances or uncontrollable risks. AI in science and medicine. Even before AGI, we can expect AI-driven scientific discovery to accelerate. Already, models like AlphaFold have solved protein folding problems that baffled researchers for decades. Future systems could design new materials for clean energy, develop personalized cancer therapies, and simulate entire ecosystems to predict climate tipping points. If managed responsibly, These tools could help humanity tackle existential threats such as pandemics and global warming. Autonomous systems and robotics. Robotics will also leap forward. From self-driving cars and cargo ships to automated factories and agricultural robots, machines will increasingly operate with minimal human oversight. Military applications remain the most contentious. Autonomous drones capable of selecting and engaging targets without human approval are no longer science fiction. They are being tested today. Without international restrictions, an AI-driven arms race could destabilize global security. Quantum computing and AI synergy. Another wildcard is quantum computing, which promises to perform certain calculations exponentially faster than classical computers. When paired with advanced AI, quantum processors could crack encryption schemes, optimize global supply chains, and model complex biological systems. But they could also break the security protocols that protect financial transactions and state secrets. These technological trajectories underscore a critical point. Governance cannot be static. Rules written today must adapt to capabilities that do not yet exist. This requires ongoing scientific monitoring, open channels between researchers and policymakers, and a commitment to update regulations as the landscape evolves. 3. Societal adaptation, preparing people and economies. Even if humanity avoids worst-case scenarios like uncontrolled AGI or autonomous weapons, AI will reshape daily life for billions of people. The next decade will test our ability to adapt in at least 4 key areas. The future of work. Automation will continue to displace routine tasks across industries. Jobs in manufacturing, logistics, customer service, and even law and medicine will be partially or fully automated. Economists debate the net impact on employment, but most agree that job transitions will be disruptive. Governments must invest in retraining programs, lifelong learning systems, and social safety nets to help workers acquire new skills. Universal basic income, once a fringe idea, may gain traction as a buffer against mass unemployment. Education for an AI world. Education systems designed for the industrial age must evolve. Instead of memorizing facts that AI can instantly provide, students need to develop critical thinking, creativity, and emotional intelligence, skills that machines struggle to replicate. AI itself can become a powerful teaching tool, offering personalized tutoring and adaptive curricula, but only if schools and teachers are given the resources to integrate it responsibly. Inequality and global justice. Without careful planning, AI could widen the gap between rich and poor nations. Countries with access to advanced models and computing infrastructure will reap enormous economic rewards, while others may be left behind. The UN's development agencies are calling for technology transfer programs, cloud-based AI services for low-income states, and financing mechanisms to ensure equitable access. Failure to act could entrench a new form of digital colonialism. Privacy and human rights. As AI systems harvest and analyze massive datasets, protecting privacy and human dignity becomes paramount. Laws like Europe's GDPR offer some safeguards, but global standards remain inconsistent. Civil society groups are pushing for a universal AI Bill of Rights to guarantee transparency, accountability, and the right to opt out of automated decision-making. 4. Ethical and philosophical horizons. Beyond governance, technology, and economics lies a deeper set of questions. What does it mean to share the planet with intelligent machines? If AI eventually surpasses human capabilities in most domains, how do we preserve a sense of purpose and agency? Philosophers debate whether advanced AI should possess moral status. If a machine can think, feel, or suffer, does it deserve rights? How do we distinguish between genuine consciousness and sophisticated imitation? Religious leaders are grappling with similar issues, exploring how AI fits within spiritual understandings of creation and the soul. Another profound question concerns human enhancement. As AI merges with biotechnology, through brain-computer interfaces, genetic engineering, and neural implants, the line between human and machine may blur. Will society accept a future where some individuals augment their intelligence or physical abilities through AI, creating a new class divide between the enhanced and the unenhanced? These debates are not merely academic. They influence policy decisions about research funding, medical ethics, and civil rights. They also shape how future generations will perceive humanity's place in the universe. Building a shared future. Despite the daunting challenges, there is reason for cautious optimism. The very fact that AI is now a central topic at the United Nations shows that humanity is awakening to the stakes. Unlike the slow response to climate change, the world is addressing AI risks while the technology is still in its early stages. Grassroots movements, academic researchers, and forward-thinking companies are already collaborating on open-source safety tools and ethical guidelines. The path forward will require 3 key commitments. Global solidarity. Nations must resist the temptation to treat AI purely as a weapon in geopolitical competition. Shared risks demand shared solutions. Continuous dialogue. Governance cannot be a one-time treaty, but an ongoing conversation among governments, scientists, companies, and citizens. Regular UN reviews, scientific panels, and multi-stakeholder forums will keep policies aligned with technological realities. Human-centered values. Above all, AI development must remain anchored in the dignity and well-being of people. Economic growth is meaningless if it comes at the cost of human rights or planetary survival. A call to action. As we conclude this series, remember that the future of AI is not predetermined. Technologies are shaped by the choices we make, choices about investment, regulation, education, and ethics. Every citizen has a role to play. Stay informed, follow developments in AI governance, and hold leaders accountable. Engage in dialogue. Participate in public consultations, community forums, and educational programs. Support responsible innovation. Choose products and services from companies that prioritize transparency and safety. The United Nations has opened the door to a global conversation, but the outcome will depend on sustained public pressure and international cooperation. We stand at a crossroads. One path leads to a future where AI amplifies human creativity, solves pressing problems, and lifts billions out of poverty. The other path leads to fragmentation, inequality, and potentially irreversible harm. The decisions we make in the next few years will determine which future we inherit. Thank you for joining AI Global on this journey through the promise and peril of artificial intelligence at the United Nations. The story does not end here. As negotiations continue, breakthroughs emerge, and society adapts, we will keep reporting on the progress and setbacks of this defining challenge of the 21st century. Stay curious, stay engaged, and together let's shape an AI future that serves all of humanity.